tanky support with a fasting Senna AD carry. He has been really good at starting off a lot of these plays for Dignitas. So let's see about the switch ups on this side of the map. Kaisa first pick for Stixxay. Definitely good overall, just kind of generic bottom lane pick here. We've seen a decent amount of Xayah trying to answer it. Wonder if Dignitas are going to go that route. Misfortune as well, definitely one of the other big answers.
Yeah, for sure. MF stock goes down a little bit without Seraphine in the comp. You just really do like those synergies. It raises the priority a bit, right? But you can play the really strong stuff. But Soligo going to grab Twisted Fate. Obviously, a very good mid lane champion as well. If you want to play around bot side, you know, if Cleanse is down, you're probably just dying to the TF gank, so that can be good. Obviously, it also allows him to punish topside because we know Niles is going to be pushing. And he may get a lead up against FakeGod. That can go well, but we heard FakeGod talk yesterday. Asked him about, you know, what's it like coming back to the LCS? You know, how's the top lane look? And he's like, well, there's really only 3 top laners I care about, and it was Alphari and Sunday and then Impact. And everyone else, he's like, they're just people, and I'm going to be confident in any one of those matchups. So we know FakeGod's going to come into this game feeling confident, saying, look, I'll take the fight, I'll take the matchup, you know, and he's going to feel good about it.
Yeah, he struggled to remember
Impact.
The other ones.
He struggled to remember Impact. He's like, I know there's a third one that's like pretty good, and he like finally settled on Impact. It's like, and everyone else, I'm fine.
Speaking of our eyes on the jungle, though, mentioning those farming junglers for Iconic, the Graves picked up yet again here for him. Is most played, no surprise here, and pairing the Alistar with the Kaisa, again, no surprise. That CC lane being able to set up. Newbie here trying to set up for Stixxay as Stixxay has actually, I feel like, had a re-emergence in the LCS. He talked about in an interview how some of the burden was lifted from him from the stress and the expectations, you know, being on a team like Golden Guardians where everybody at the beginning is predicting 10th place since they have, you know, so many new players and collegiate players. I really do think he's started to flourish. He's flying a little bit under the radar still. But this is definitely a good setup for them to try and succeed. Meanwhile, Aphelios Thresh, that's a match made in heaven. I say almost every time I see Aphelios is I want to see Thresh with it because it shores up so many of his weaknesses, plus you know, provides possible setup for him. Really good feeling for those team fights.
Yeah.
See if you can flay the headbutts for Alistar as well. Keep him safe.
Should be really strong overall. Definitely going to see Aphromoo be one of the engagers on this team and can obviously bring Neo to safety as well. So yeah, I do like the bot lane. I think you're kind of really right on the money there. So we're seeing differing bans come through. Obviously, Golden Guardians have a jungler, so they're banning junglers away. Dignitas already have themselves a mid laner, so they're banning some of the big mid laners away. Zoe and Gallia make a whole lot of sense of champs that would let AblazeOlive move around the map and help the sides. Would tend to make a lot of sense here, honestly. Dignitas obviously play around bot side, and Golden Guardians oftentimes have a lot of action top, so you want mid laners that can move, because both teams trying to get stuff done on either side of the map. Nidalee and Taliyah now both gone, and we get another nice war recover, which is kind of a Stixxay reference in a way. Stixxay is the ultimate war recoverer, and Neo's got to figure out what jungler Dardoch wants to play. Is it going to be number 9? Honestly, could be Fiddlesticks.
I hope it's Fiddlesticks because I've still kept on playing it. It is not Fiddlesticks. It is Kindred, another, you know, not exactly super heavy in the meta, but on the fringe, I would say, because Kindred, they're still extremely viable.
Yeah.
You do put earlier priority on Scuttlecrab control, and so that relies a lot on these lanes. And I want to see the counter pick into Twisted Fate here first. A lot of them have gone things the way of Silas, but honestly, I'm not quite sure if AblazeOlive would go that route, and maybe he just goes another control mage into it to round it out. Personally, though, I love the Silas counter pick into it, especially you know, with a lot of the scaling buffs. So yeah, he just goes the control mage route into it instead for the Azir. Try and push him in a bit. You know, keep wave control to try and limit the mobility of Twisted Fate that way. Ooh. Little bit of spice here. FakeGod brings out the rumble for the top lane. I love it. Put some more attention to the top side. Maybe they flip their jungle stats here. Kindred Rumble is extremely viable punishment towards a Gangplank. Gonna put Niles to the test here.
Yep. It is 9 for 9, by the way, for Dardoch. Kindred not played in 2021, so we get to keep that one going through.
Start tweeting at him with your suggestions for all
How long is it going to be? How long is it going to be? I really want to know how long is it going to be when Dardoch finally
If it was a challenge, I feel like 10 is a good round number.
Okay,
but
it is.
But honestly, like I was saying, the jungle pool is pretty deep right now. So there are plenty of viable ones you can reach beyond 10 and still keep going without getting too troll about it.
Yeah, of course. Well, plenty of damage mix here on both teams. One of the big things about getting Kindred is that they're primarily physical damage. So you grab AP top lane, you grab AP mid. There's not that many great AP tops that you're happy to play in a Gangplank. So the Rumble, I think, should feel pretty comfortable. Gonna be fun, right? I'm looking forward to this one. I think Rumble is absolutely a great champion. And one of the champs were like, if you want to ignore top lane, Rumble is great for that. Rumble can last out in a turret pretty well. You ult the wave, you're getting tower dove, and you get to at least get one for free.
He's also really good at pushing and trying to get that pressure I was talking about to help Kindred. Rumble oftentimes is easily going to be able to move into the river. Flamespreader is so good versus GP because you're able to get harassment and shove the wave and help your jungler. And when you've got a Twisted Fate mid, it just seems like this is a good setup. You know, regardless of the comments for FakeGod talking about, it's just something Dardoch does. Sometimes we win, sometimes we don't.
Yep.
I really do think there's a good brain behind this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty strong right there. Definitely interested in seeing how the matches play out because I know like Iconic as a player tends to be actually sort of gank light in general. I know, Kobe, you were looking at a bunch of jungle proximity stats, and he's pretty low for the league overall. Iconic is a very farm-heavy player. So on the Graves, yep, he's going to go earn a ton of money, and that's going to feel really good. I mentioned it during Countdown, but you know the jungle metagame probably changes a bit in a couple of weeks on 11.4 with the impending jungle nerfs, where there's a bit less XP, a bit less gold. And that might have to change a few teams' playstyles, where you don't get to play hard farm quite as much because you're going to get less gold and XP. That's going to be an adaptation down the line for these teams. I'm going to be kind of intrigued to see how that growth is going to go for these teams because, you know, after they kind of close out 9 games, they're going to maybe have to play a new style for the other 9 before spring playoffs.
Yeah. I'm just excited for a Rumble in general because I've been tracking it emerging in LPL as flex pick, but there are always things that pop up in LPL that never transition over. But it has been gaining a lot of ground in solo queue as well, as I've seen a lot of people climbing with it. So I'm hoping for the best here for FakeGod. Has gone the comment. You're trying to get that early pressure. If you land your harpoon, then it basically guarantees it. And we'll see about maybe even possibilities of the late invade. They don't sweep up into the river, so he doesn't find the ward there for Dardoch, and they just back off instead.
Smart adaptations. I'm always really a fan of any of these microcosms where you're saying, okay, what are standard level 1 plays? Well, I ward to look for late invades or to look for late wards. Okay, well, I bring a sweeper to find those. And you're like, well, these guys bring sweepers, so we're going to ward somewhere off of the normal sweeper path. And then, you know, Dig's going to look at this game and be like, oh, okay, people are going to ward up there. Now we're going to sweep and, like, move up the river when we do it. And, like, this will keep changing. And this is important to do. Like, this is valuable. This is extra vision that people are going to gain. It's worth doing. Top lane fight comes back and forth, finally has Grasp to go in, and until FakeGod gets that shield, Q spam's going to feel pretty good for Niles.
I would also say it is highly recommended to ward red buff side whenever you're playing Kindred players. And it is a little bit added Kindred specific here, where Kindred can easily go let red buff level 2 into invades or into these early ganks. And so you can queue over the back of the pit. That's why you want to ward a little bit up into the river to see if the Kindred is going for one of those really risky high variance plays. Level 2 jumping over to the back of the pit, so it kind of covers that vision there. If you ward the Pixel Brush as standard, then you don't get to see that possibility of that path. And since Kindred has a decently rough time with the Raptors, more rough than a lot of the other junglers, she's definitely prone to some of the those types of ganks, those types of early variations.
Right now, it's going to be a hard farm for Dardoch. Going to go for something like a full 6-camp clear, as we're seeing Iconic's Graves do kind of the same thing, but from the top side. They both go to top side. They'll end towards the bottom lanes. Barrel Chain's going to land. Niles will get the Q. So far, so good up against FakeGod. They're down a bunch of CS, and honestly, the first few trades at level 1 really went Niles' way. So FakeGod going to have to try to slowly regen back up. We'll see if he can survive, as Niles is getting biscuits back as well to keep his mana pool up for the poke. Iconic just hard farming through down to the red. And based on the timing, right, it's now a clock where you've got to go for the scuttle if you're going to go for it at all. It's bottom scuttle, and the Graves is actually going to be heading topside, so they're not going to contest this crab. The fact that Dignitas have bot lane pressure means Dardoch will always have Aphro before Golden Guardians have newbie there. And it means that for Scuttle, hey, it's fortunate that it chose bot side, but yeah, with the bot lane pressure, that's just always going to Kindred.
Yeah, you definitely take those, especially since you've got Twisted Fate mid, would be able to apply CC for an early skirmish, whereas early Azir is looking mostly for pushing the wave in to try and get some pressure that way.
Yeah.
Very nice start off here for the Kindred, though. As you're saying, always feels so good to get the early mark. Since he did the full clear, Iconic can't counter jungle Krugs, and he should be seen on the Tri-Brush ward here too, but is pushing Sloy away from FakeGod. Not patient enough here for Iconic.
Yeah. Iconic picking, I don't know, I think he probably should have hugged the bottom wall a little bit longer and not maybe given away that he was on the ward and you know, maybe found his opening a little bit more easily, but end of the day, doesn't mean much. Ward gets replaced anyway. That's pretty easily called by Niles if he's paying attention and on comms that, hey, by the way, another ward in Tri-Brush, you can't go there. We saw him duck into the fog of war. Likely to be happening. Similar thing happening, though, for Dardoch, of course. He's now pressuring bot side, and a 3v2 is pretty scary. They're actually really getting rid of a lot of the vision. Can't quite get rid of that ward. It's actually pretty important, though, because now they know if they're going to get dove on or not by Aphro and Dardoch.
Yeah. Speaking of the wards, too, I just want to make a little shout out to the Golden Guardians topside focus for themselves. We talked about the early one in River over the back of the, or to see a possible jump over the back of the pit. But then Niles also put his trinket as soon as that one expired, up covering River and Tri-Brush, and then recalled as that one is expiring. And then they bring back a control ward to ward topside as well. So they really want to make sure that it doesn't happen again where he had previously been the most ganked player in the LCS. And they were mostly successful. So very good attention to detail here for Golden Guardians, trying to make sure that does not happen again.
Niles able to walk his way back to lane, buying himself a Doran's shield to help the sustain up against various bits of rumble poke. Small farm lead. FakeGod also able to walk back to lane. Because the lane is being played slowly, it is going to mean at least these 3 melee minions are denied, so that is some golden XP FakeGod's going to lose. Should mean Niles will be first to 6. You can see halfway to the level right now. So that means if there is going to be a big play around bot lane at 6-10, something like that, you'll have GP ult but no rumble availability without burning 7 or teleport. So that'll be something to watch for. If there is going to be a play for Golden Guardians, the timing is coming very soon. Otherwise, Dragons on the field. We'll see if ults can be denied in time before that gets started.
Yeah, all right, so every time you see Twisted Fate set up here, you're trying to look at possible summoners blown early. Since there hasn't been any sort of action, and there is a cleanse on bottom side for Stixxay, it does mean that Soligo is going to be a little bit more reactive with this one. Both top laners have been saving their teleports for the big play here for Dragon and just going for push up and then recall. So they both have the possibility of joining. I'd say if they actually both commit them, though, bigger impact from FakeGod. Level 6 Rumble comes in and can have a huge effect, especially if Aphromoo is able to lock somebody up and Twisted Fate Gold card can keep them on the red carpet. So already a little bit of liberty taken here by Dardoch, even with bottom lane kind of stalemated, and same for the mid lane. They feel very confident with the level 6 Rumble possible teleport coming in. Just starts it up, and we'll be able to finish off that Dragon no problem.
I think you take the risk with GP ult. I mean, maybe not. It's a really long cooldown, but right now Dardoch actually doesn't have Smite, so it's like on the edge of vision, and theoretically there's a chance you could get the steal. I don't think you can actually see the GP, like the health right there.
Yeah.
Because the ward is a bit out of range, but like in a world, right, where it was a little bit kited left, that was stealable. Alrighty, mid lane cleared out. AblazeOlive just getting pretty standard easy pushing going on right now. Still a pretty tight game. Dignitas ahead overall. We'll point out TF averages 4 gold per CS. So if you're looking at who's actually earning more gold from maybe dropping CS or getting jungle camps and whatnot, add 240 to the Dignitas scoreboard, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, that's about what their gold lead stands at.
Yeah, pretty comparable right now. As you see some of the wards too. Bottom side, here we go.
Nice flash into the pulverize, and of course Soligo's here as well. Newbie gets away just barely. Nicely done, the trade! AblazeOlive finds himself first blood as both mid laners arrive. Well played here. Gold card means a little bit. They're gonna walk away. Golden Guardians, awesome play by Newbie to survive that whole play.
Yeah, immediate teleport into from AblazeOlive on the Azir. Immediate Gangplank ultimate with how calm the early game has been, Phreak. Like we said, everybody's waiting for the Twisted Fate pop-off play. Aphromoo goes in, they started out, but Golden Guardians are ready to respond and get the first blood for themselves. That's really big going into the hands of Azir too. Now that AblazeOlive, gets the early money here towards mid lane, can really start to shove in this wave and try and regain control for the squad. Let's take another look at it. Aphromoo going to start it up, flashes in for the play. Headbutt back there from newbie to get the exchange on damage. And even with the teleport coming in, Gangplank ultimate did a tremendous amount for them, and AblazeOlive can finish it right off.
Yeah, really nicely done. Of course, newbie fully frail. They went for the play because, hey, Alistar wasn't level 6. It makes a lot of sense. There's a reason to do this. You get the lockdown, flash flame, a hook is going to land. It's going to feel comfortable. But, yeah, again, newbie played it really nicely. Pulverize in a turnaround for the headbutt. Flash at the very end of phase rush on to get out fast, and it was pretty beautiful. So in the back half of that play, you can see now another one into the mid lane as newbie walks in yet again. But again, it is a level 5 Alistar. He is not tanky. He has phase rush, and once again, able to kite it out in time and not lose much for it. No one burned flash either, so it's just such greater damage for damage. Summoner teleport finally used topside as Niles comes back to his lane. FakeGod still has his though, as well as that Rumble ultimate. If there's a play to be had, Niles can only show up with ulti.
Yeah, I always love when the melee supports keep their eyes on the possible turnaround engage when they're getting engaged on. Newbie over and over here. Some good combos for himself to get both out of trouble, but also setting his team up for possible plays. And if they, continue to farm up mid here for AblazeOlive, the Azir is going to be huge for this squad later. Golden Guardians have some very good scaling on their side, but Dardoch has been controlling the neutral objectives thus far. Starting up with the early dragon for himself, all by himself, without any help from the lanes, plus transitioning out of our replay. If you didn't catch him picking up that Rift Herald, has it in hand with plenty of time to earn some money off of these turret plates and try and set up one of his side lane carries. Ideally, getting some of that money here onto Neo as the crux of the team fight for Dignitas. They're going to want Neo to be that big carry for them towards the mid stages of the game. And FakeGod will be able to operate no problem here on Rumble, just with extra levels in his ultimate.
It's interesting because there are a lot of threats kind of in all cases here for that whole Dignitas squad. Like pretty much everyone except the Thresh is a damage dealer, right? Rumble's going to be good. Obviously doesn't need a lot of gold income. Like the base values are really high in that champion. Dardoch's going to hard farm in Kindred. Has, I believe, I only saw him get one mark. I saw him get bottom scuttle. May have missed the others, but obviously there's no kills for Dig yet, so I think he's still pretty slow on that one. TF's reasonable, especially if you're not going RFC second, then you've got damage output. Obviously, again, as you mentioned, the Aphelios is super relevant. Yeah, definitely the big late game insurance. Other thing I want to bring up, as we're talking about carries and whatnot, is I want to correct something I said I think in like week 1 or during lock-in about Gangplank. I'm actually a really big fan of the Essence Reaver Shield Bow build. And by the way, right now Niles has a Sheen, which is towards Essence Reaver most likely, and the Noon Quiver, which precludes any other mythic except Shield Bow or Gale Force or something. I really, really think Essence Reaver Shield Bow is the correct GP build. Azale brought that one up in the previous game as we were seeing the previous Gangplank do that, and yeah, I think I agree with him that build is outstanding. And that is, I think, where GPs should go. If you need to then flex in Asterix or whatever, yeah, sure, go for it. But I mean, if you need to be tanky, that's what Shield Bow does, right? It's good in all cases. You have high damage. You have pretty good ability haste thanks to the Essence Reaver. Everything's kind of wonderful with that one.
Yeah, and we touched on it on last patch also, where it still is good. Now on this patch, with Shield Bow getting the buff as well, it's just extremely good all around. And we're seeing a lot of AD carry players also rise in priority as far as their Shield Bow priority, even if it's not a heavy dive comp, just because of how good all around it is, now with the extra stats being added to it. Looking at the team comps though here, as we still are waiting through a very short pause compared to some of the other ones today, hopefully. I really do like the possible combinations that Dig can bring with this team comp. We already saw a really good answer from Golden Guardians on the first attempted Twisted Fate play, but you are able to protect this Aphelios, or should be able to, with Thresh and Kindred, and keep him upright to be able to carry these team fights. And with Rumble being able to play off of point-and-click CC from Twisted Fate and possible follow-up from Aphromoo, you can see what they want to do to be able to continue to fight over these dragons. Them getting the first one leads right into their game plan, and hopefully we'll be able to see that follow-up.
All right, I've been getting information delivered to me, so thank you very much. It is Dignitas experiencing connectivity issues / lag spikes, but we are going back in soon. Keep in mind, of course, we play these games on a delay in the first place online, which means that we also can already just like map hack 6 minutes in the future and know like, oh yeah, by the way, this pause is a minute and a half long, because in
don't let the secrets out, Phreak!
Yeah, Dignitas and Golden Guardians are actively already playing, and the dragon's been already killed or whatever's been going on. So we know some of that, which is nice. It makes it easy to deliver information for you. Again, we are going back on pretty soon. And yeah, it's going to be a tight battle, right? It's a couple of development rosters for the most part, right? Golden Guardians losing most of their lineup, Dignitas reshaping a lot of it as well. And I think Dignitas have looked really good. Like Aphromoo with his second very good AD carry that he's kind of rearing up into the limelight here. I think it's been really good with Neo, and he's been the focal point of the team. Golden Guardians, it's 3 full-on rookies, 2 of whom skipped Academy in Niles and Iconic, and it's like, all right, and it's up to Stixxay and newbie, as sort of the veterans, and yeah, they have been playing pretty well. They haven't been getting a ton of attention, but they're playing nicely.
Yeah, I actually really like this topic because I would say the only kind of development player possibly on Dignitas would even be Neo, and we already saw a decent amount of him, under the name Asa in Challenger, but he would probably be the development one. For me, FakeGod and Soligo are the ones that worked their way through all of the development, 100 Thieves, back and forth, them kind of getting time in LCS when they're trying to fix up their import slots.
Yeah.
Now really getting their chances. FakeGod, though, in a 2v1, see if he can get himself out of this.
Niles and Iconic are here. Golden Guardians want to be involved. A great Rebel is going to buy him some time, and he flashes to safety. Yeah, gets enough of a slow that there wasn't nothing left. So, hey, flash and ult to survive the fight's not too bad. But now TF ult coming down bot side. There's no ultis left to defend it. It's going to be a tough one. Big combo goes off on a Soligo. They are right away onto that one. The Ignite is on. Is he going to die? The ulti for Dardoch going to keep him safe. And now out of the turret, they will get the last few shots. Well played the Dignitas. The 4v2 tower dive is a 1-for-0.
Both sides of the map deserve credit here. The weak side for Dignitas, FakeGod, he draws a line in the sand with his ultimate, flashes out of there, and there's no way Golden Guardians could chase him over it. Plus, strong side outplay for them as well. Dignitas, nice job. As soon as they see the extra person from Golden Guardians up on top side, they make the call. This is what you want to see. Proactive play here with the Twisted Fate ultimate. Top side's overloaded. They punish on bottom side. Those dragons we mentioned continue to stack up for them. And FakeGod continues to sacrifice here on top side. Golden Guardians are trying to get something out of it, though. And they reestablish themselves on top side. Will end up getting some of those turret plates for themselves. But Dig, all steam forward here. Dardoch goes in for the initiation. Soligo, as you mentioned, he gets so low, flashes out. Dardoch cues back to get in range. Ultimate down. There you go. That's what you want to see from a player who's playing 9 different jungle champions in 9 different games. Still has the mastery of all 9 of the champions to be able to pull them off. Kindred ultimate #1 is successful. We'll see how well he can keep the rest of his teammates safe, because I think that Neo will be relying on him later into the game too. You have to watch out for things like big barrel chains coming out of nowhere. Niles has been very good, even putting together 3 barrel chains. So those types of things, as well as Alistar engages, are going to be what he's got to watch out for.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's gonna be big damage. This is the thing: is both comps are 4 carries, right? It's a tank engage support and 4 champs who can all do a ton of damage when required. So obviously, gonna feel really good for Dignitas that Dardoch gets a kill, that Neo gets to share in so much of that turret, that he's got his mythic done there as well. Obviously, gonna feel pretty outstanding on Aphelios over there, but. Yeah, if Golden Guardians are still getting pretty good farm, I mean, 143 CS on Azir is great. Like, you love to see 10 CS a minute. Most pros don't reach that in the average game. They're physically capable, but the game states don't allow it sometimes. So, AblazeOlive has plenty of money. Niles has knocked down 2 to 3 plates himself, so he's, pretty rich up there as well with Shield Build plus a Sheen for, aggressive trading. So, yeah, even if Stixxay is not going to be gigantic, they have other carries to play around.
Yeah, and AblazeOlive has also gone lethal tempo, despite being 4 ranged champions on the opponent team. Flashes.
Pretty solid, but he's got an avenue back to the turret. Again, he put it down because he was on top of it. The flash got him out of it, and hard to put a line down that you can't somehow get around. So nice try by FakeGod. Flash gets AblazeOlive to safety.
Yeah, he walks that line very close, just on the edge. of the ultimate. Objective again here for Dignitas. They've been able to rack up pretty much every single neutral objective thus far. And with AblazeOlive walking back from base right now, he could teleport.
Flash combo comes in, looking for a headbutt, looking for huge damage, though. Stixxay ult over the wall to safety. The flash chase for Dardoch, though, finds the kill. They might get him back. Now his ult's back up already. Newbie's going to drop as well. Dignitas just will not die in this fight. Jumps over the wall to safety. The shovel comes across. Can't find a single kill. You gotta be kidding me. Dignitas 4-0.
Dignitas are slamming it right now, Phreak. Really well executed play. The coordination here. Dardoch especially flashing over to finish off the extra kill. No, he can finish it off with the extra E proc there. He ults to buy himself time for his Q to come back up. Is able to get back over the wall. Look at this. Focus on the Stixxay. Aphromoo flays him in. He's forced to ult, then flash away. And Dardoch takes out the big threat first. Then he's able to buy so much time with 3 members of Golden Guardians still trying to focus him. He gets over just on the outside of the Azir wall too. So AblazeOlive goes out with a blaze of glory, Phreak. No people die in that blaze of glory except for himself. So it's not exactly what he wanted, but it is going to be Dignitas with a sweep on the objectives now.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, AblazeOlive, he walked the line like that was a Johnny Cash escape, and then the re-engage was more Johnny Trash. Like, that's just too bad. It ended up in a bad spot. You know, and hey, he tried to make the big play, but sometimes you got to realize, like, that fight is over, and you've got to just get away with that one.
I honestly, I love seeing that mentality, though, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm going in for the big one. I'm going to get a giant sweep. Barely misses it on Dardoch. Doesn't get enough damage for the other two. All right, let's see, though. Reset your mental after a play like that, Phreak.
Yes.
They still, as we mentioned, they have good possibilities for scaling later. It's just that it's going to be hard for them now to fight any of these neutrals because they're losing out, bleeding so much of their map control. It's going to have to be Newbie making some big plays for them right now. He does have Hex Flash, but you know, no real flash for Alistar does make it significantly more difficult when you're trying to play into a team that does have Thresh and the Rumble ultimate for the rest of your team to try and avoid.
Good damage from Soligo. Ult traded with some oranges. AblazeOlive, ow, that's a lot of pain. Gale Force in, nearly finding the kill. Dignitas have so much damage from so far away, and Soligo, he could find the kill in the backline, but won't go for it. Just get some Q poke instead. Wave gets clear to the mid lane, so Dignitas can't really stay here any longer. It's time to go to the river. But AblazeOlive is very low. Rift Herald summon in mid is going to kill that turret every single time. Stixxay cannot prevent that from happening. And now Dignitas can easily start Dragon number 3.
Yeah, they could start it. They could probably finish it, too. Let's see what kind of steal opportunities Iconic goes for. There is a cone. He's got flash. Newbie looks like he wants to go in. He's sitting on the cone. Doesn't pull the trigger. Nobody ends up even trying to steal. Little Graves ultimate out there just for the Hail Mary. Maybe, you know, Dardoch flubs a smite or something and you get a freebie, but they're going to have their eyes on that clock. 5 minutes, Phreak, till the soul arrives, and that's going to be a pretty early one for them to try and deal with Twisted Fate, map pressure, Rumble ultimate cutting off these chokes. It definitely looks very dark here for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, and I like this look for Dignitas, though. I mean, just last game, yesterday, they set the record, the LCS record for fastest Dragon Soul. They played around bot side. Dardoch went and, you know, took a bunch of dragons early on, and they had it, you know, soundly. It was really, really well played. And here they are back again, where, yes, they're not going to break their own record, but they're on for a very, very fast, like 23-minute and change Dragon Soul. Even though Afro's, you know, first play, it got turned around, right? And they gave up first blood, they got nothing back for it. Well, they still had pressure the entire time. Dardoch got every bottom scuttle. Dardoch got to solo all the dragons because mid pushed enough, because bot was always pressing. And I mean, I'm glad that Dignitas have found themselves pushing towards a win condition, right? And it's using the two veterans. It's, okay, yeah, Dardoch is going to play towards bottom side, where Afro's there helping to win bottom side. Neo is going to be the recipient of all the attention, so he's going to be gigantic out of bottom side, and it's great that Dig have an identity.
Definitely true. Newbie goes in.
Oh, they're just out of the way. They cannot catch Soligo. They were just off. That would have been at least a kill. Maybe not much more, but just gold will not go into Golden Guardians' pockets.
Yeah, no gold, plus no objectives, plus no map pressure because Neo was pushing on top side and the wave is already up in Dignitas' favor too. So good attempt here from Golden Guardians, but they can't quite actually grab anything in this game. I really like your discussion on this Dignitas team though. because I do truly feel that Soligo and FakeGod have put in so much work, so much time. And it's nice to see, you know, this Dignitas organization putting some faith in those guys, on starting spots for them, putting them on the roster. They did say they rebuilt this team kind of around Dardoch. He was the first one to fully commit to the signature for the contract.
Yeah.
And it's also one of the organizations that has kept up hope with this player, who's a long-standing LCS player that's been surrounded by controversy and bounced around between team after team after team. And yet here, it definitely looks like it's paying off for the squad, especially this game on the Kindred. He's been exceptional.
Absolutely agree. I mean, he's doing great. Obviously, 100% KP, so is most of the team, to be fair, because it's been a bunch of team fights. But credit where it's due. Yeah, he's got all the dragons, and he hasn't died, so pretty good stuff. Now going for the play. Soligo. Okay, 3v2, but can they just one-shot the guy? They're gonna try. Nice shuffle backwards. Soligo goes out of summoners. Great stopwatch buys some time, but the pulverize was saved. Big damage on Dardoch. Here comes the ulti. Here comes the teleports. Azir turret comes around as well. The entire squad is here, though. Soligo's gonna drop. It's a quick 2 for 0, and Dignitas just gotta give it up. A nice play out of Golden Guardians to get some gold back in their pockets.
Yeah, just as we are talking about the whole team singing their praises, they bite off way more than they could chew. Dardoch and Soligo down. Now it's a power play from Golden Guardians. Ooh. Is this the comeback moment? Sometimes you get those kills, you bite off a little bit too much. He's got a barrel by Baron here. Watch Niles for the chain.
This should be doable. I mean, realistically, right? Rumble, it's down. Now, shield will go pop, but it doesn't mean he's got extra lifesteal, so he's going to kind of drain tank this. There is no smite on the dig side. This should be easy for Golden Guardians as long as they play it well. Get it to 2K. That's enough. Sorry, 200. And it's enough that they knock this one down. Oh, the flash! The flash away from Niles. I like that play out of FakeGod. End of the day, though, it means nothing more except that TP is coming back in. Dignitas going to re-engage this fight, and they may find that kill. Nice ult by Soligo. Easy gold card, easy pickoff. Beautifully done. And they're going to find a second as well. And Golden Guardians may just not find their way out of this battle. Beautifully done by Dignitas to get the re-engage, and they're going to get 3 of the Baron buffs off.
Oh, it's getting exciting, Phreak. There are still some Baron buffs alive here for Golden Guardians, so all is not lost. They're still happy with how they were able to turn this around and get their foothold back into the game. Here's a look at it, though, with AblazeOlive and Dardoch going hard in the paints. But Newbie has his back, comes over on the Alistar. Every member from Golden Guardians shows up. They get the first 2 kills, and they're able to escape the Rumble ultimate in setting up for that Baron. I like the call to really capitalize on their moment. Taking 2 kills, eliminating the jungler.
Yep.
You know, even though they're down, Golden Guardians looking for the big comeback.
But time is short. 15 seconds on the Dragon Soul coming up, and Dignitas, because they won the last fight, are on the map first. The ward coverage is Dig favored. They got 6 seconds till this Dragon comes up. Dardoch can solo it no problem. Golden Guardians have to somehow get through this vision deficit. Big damage right now onto Newbie. He doesn't want to have to burn his ult, but he doesn't even have it, so he's going to die right away. Just playing the vision, a 1 for 0 for Dig. And how do you defend this now? You're 4v5. Golden Guardian's going to stick around, but I don't think it's going to go very well. Sure, some ultis are down. Kindred's still without that one. But here we go. Dardoch, I mean, he can lifesteal tank this no problem. He's going to have no problem going for this one. Iconic is alive, is equal level, has a fair chance to smite fight. But a 5v4 makes this really tough.
Okay, the only ultimate that Dig have available is Kindred, and AblazeOlive can sweep Dignitas off of it. Can they make the big play? Go for the steal.
Here comes the shuffle backwards. They get it down to 1,500. AblazeOlive gonna die, though. Iconic needs to get the smite, and he does. But at what cost? Already one is dead. Kindred ult burns down. They're gonna find the second, nearly burns down Dardoch. And TF not gonna find his way back in either. But guess what? You delayed Dragon Soul at the cost of 900 gold worth of kills.
Ooh, yeah, AblazeOlive goes in. He sweeps them off the Dragon, away from the objective, so that Iconic can get in there, and they do steal it away, but Dignitas are going to take your house for it.
One turret's already gone, second turret under fire, but yeah, they don't have the wave anymore, and with the Baron buff still on, I forgot that there was still Baron on 2 people, despite how badly the fight went the entire time, and the whole play was basically 3 for 0, just with a Dragon Steel in the middle of it, and Dignitas still pushing around the map. Soligo's already pushing down the bottom lane, which means the team could show if they needed to. Not going to happen just yet. We are going to get a reset here as the Baron times out. Not the best Red Bull Baron, but at least the Dragon's still keeping the game.
All right, look at the coordination here. AblazeOlive goes in, he sweeps Dardoch away from the Dragon, and it leashes even further. So then sneaks into the back of the pit there for Iconic, and with the extra damage, he gets it just in time as Dardoch was coming over to try and grab that one. And they make the big sacrifice, but they buy themselves some time. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the next soul point fight here for Dignitas. They'll try and set up once again. They've already got control wards there. They did get the secondary mid tower as well as weakening the bottom secondary, so they will be able to move in, get those deep wards in the red quadrant of Golden Guardian's jungle for the next setup on this soul point. Yes, Baron will also be available, so with a team like Golden Guardians have, with Azir and Kaisa and Gangplank and Graves, so much DPS here, you still want to keep some amount of your vision resources to watch on that Baron, so that even though when you're going for the soul, you don't give up any of those shenanigans that we've seen from some of the late games.
Well, playing around vision. They know with the control ward there that Newbie and co are not spotted in this brush, trying to maybe hope Dignitas plays for wards, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to knock down mid-wave first, force a response, because if Golden Guardians do not defend mid, they're going to lose the middle inhibitor, and that's really not a tenable play. Stixxay going to take the farm. Rest of the squad waiting around. Newbie, regular flash, not hex flash, so nothing to channel and get ready down there. I don't think you really want to flash right into them and hope it's enough. Niles going to find some poke and a fake. Got decent damage, of course, with the crits, but, I mean, look at the slow, look at the ulti over the top. Niles just might die. Has to get the shield bow on, and that keeps him alive, but it is, I believe, a shorter cooldown for the Rumble ulti, and it'll be back up in time for the Baron fight.
Yeah, I think the sidewave setup is going to be pretty good for them as well, with Twisted Fate having full priority there. Soligo has switched over to his exhaust for any of these types of all-ins that they try and pull off on Split Pusher. Dignitas will be able to get another outer turret for themselves in preparation for this dragon. Plenty of time still to move their wards over. 2 minutes left to be able to transition vision. And you can see for Golden Guardians too, they're trying to get some gold back for themselves. They still have yet to take a single tower in the game, but Niles is doing his best to correct that.
And over on split push duty now, you can see that they're all trying to trading farm equally on the Golden Guardian side. Everyone's at 220 and change, whereas you've got some obvious sort of stratification there on Dignitas' side, which I think is very, very smart. FakeGod gives up farm. It goes over to Neo. He's got, 100 CS lead over his top laner, which makes sense, right? This is who's going to carry your late game. FakeGod's good on 2 items. With Zhonya's and for good measure and Oblivion Orb for the healing cut, like, you're done. You don't need a whole lot more. Void Staff will feel good, obviously, but it's not so important that you get it that you'd want to take farm away from what could go to an Aphelios.
Yep, protect that Aphelios at all cost. Neo is going to be the centerpiece for Dig. All summoners available for him, as well as the supportive ultimates. FakeGod not going to be able to scare Niles off.
No, Niles goes for the solo kill. Zhonya's his burn. Niles gets the shield once again. He should let steal a lot. Nice flash gets away with it, but I believe Niles wins this battle. He does. FakeGod should have just left. There's so much lifesteal and enough durability that a solo kill is going to open up the map a bit. Baron's available. Stixxay has to get out, does so. Niles has TP and flash. So after this recall, Golden Guardians could try to force a 5v4.
Yeah, teleport is available for FakeGod, so as soon as he gets up, they will be able to channel.
They don't know.
Again, keep your eyes on the Baron. When there's so much damage in the game, this one is going to be tossed. Dignitas Baron, Phreak. Clean pickup.
Not a meme anymore. Dardoch gives us the team up thumbs up, and that announcement is going to scare Golden Guardians. They thought, all right, we get mid-pressure, whatever, but they just stopped doing anything and let Dignitas just run in top river. TF ult spots the chance, the attempt there. FakeGod has TP, but no ult. He can TP right now. It's still a 5v4. Golden Guardians should take the fight. It's 5v4. Instead of retreating down the river. If you're going to fight for the dragon at all, don't fight once FakeGod's here. Fight before he shows up. Dardoch going to go for the smite battle most likely. Alistar just dies right away. Smite's going to come across, and that's Dragon Soul. Is it going to be enough? A great shuffle, but Stixxay cannot find the right targets, cannot collect a single thing. Dignitas going to collect the win. Dignitas going to smash this game over its head. Dragon Soul, 16-4 in kills. 30 minutes in, time to take the base.
I like the new Dignitas, Phreak. No waiting around. Here we go, right into the base. They get the soul, they get the ace, and they get the game.
Beautifully done. So, yes, it will be a 30-minute win. They will again grab Dragon Soul. It's a lot in a row. Dignitas' identity centers around their bottom lane. Aphro and Dardoch, the veterans, are the ones leading the charge as Newbie tries to buy some time. They're going to say, you know what?
Look over here. Look over here.
All right. Yeah, we'll get them both. We'll let Newbie live. Dignitas claim another sub 30-minute victory, another fast Dragon Soul. Their bot lane has been outstanding. Their shot calling is getting better, and Dignitas have a winning record right now in the LCS.
Now, I want to take your mind back to the beginning of the game and how we got here. It was, yes, good bottom side play with the dive from joining Twisted Fate as well as Dardoch on the bottom side of the map to get their gold rolling and get their dragons continuing to stack, but also FakeGod. He gets away from the 2v1, he backs away from the extra pressure from Golden Guardians, and he's been playing the weak side to this bottom focus pretty well. And I think that deserves credit. You know, yes. He does die in a 1v1 to Niles at the end with the tower going down. But the rest of the team, especially with the timing of the death, is able to make up for it and getting that dragon victory so big for them.
Yep, absolute credit to FakeGod for playing weak side really well and being a key part of that victory. So Dignitas 3-2 is their start to the LCS. Of course, we'll see them again tomorrow. But also, as we step away, we're going to come back with an interview with Dardoch in the Verizon postgame interview. So, see you there.